Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you might be wondering why I look a little weird today. And that is because today is officially our first True Crime Tuesday video. So if you didn't watch my previous video, I already explained this, but I'm planning to create True Crime Tuesday videos. Not only true crime, but it will also dabble on mostly Asian true crime, Asian folklore, Asian conspiracies, Asian urban legends and stuff. So I'm really excited. So today we'll be talking about a true crime case. If you're not into that, I will see you guys on Friday for a makeup review. But if you like true crime and you want to hear about the story, then please keep on watching. Alright, so the story that we are going to talk about today takes place in the province of Cotabato here in the Philippines. Now, this is a relatively new case, and sadly, this happened just before Christmas. So today, we will be talking about the Maguad family, or more specifically, the Maguad Siblings Slayings. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about the Maguad family first. So the Maguad family is comprised of 4 members. The parents, Cruz and Lovelia, who are both educators. Their 18-year-old daughter, Grwm, who is a nursing student, and their 16-year-old son, Lewis, who is a high school senior. Actually, no, I'm not sure if he's in senior high school or junior high school, but based on his age, he's probably in grade 10 or grade 11. And just like most Filipino families, the Maguads are a very tight-knit Filipino family who valued their education as well as their religion. So as I have mentioned, both of the parents are educators, and based on my research, the mom, Lovelia, is a principal, while the dad, Cruz, is an elementary school teacher. So because the parents were both educators, naturally both children are model students. And aside from their love for education and religion, this family was also very passionate about helping others who are in need. So the Maguads, they lived a simple yet happy life, and they're the type of people who wouldn't really think twice about lending a helping hand. So in July of 2021, yes, just last year, the Maguads decided to adopt a schoolgirl named Janice. Now, I am using the term adopt very loosely here. She wasn't legally adopted by the family, but they did take her in and treated her as if she was one of their own. So Janice is a 17-year-old girl, and she is said to be a very close friend of Grwm's. Now, some sources say that she is a visiting cousin, while some say that she is a distant relative. So I'm not really sure if she's just friends with Grzel or if she is indeed a cousin. However, the Maguad family did confirm that they indeed took her in and are raising her. Now, allegedly, emphasis on allegedly, Janice was an orphan and she had no parents anymore. And that's why Crizel felt really sorry for her friend. So therefore, she convinced her mom to take Janice in. So eventually, Mrs. Lovelia Maguad, she agreed and let Janice stay with their family. Alright, so now, there are 3 children or teenagers in the Maguad family. So we have 18-year-old Grwm, 16-year-old Lewis, and now we have 17-year-old addition to the family, Janice. Everything went smoothly at first, as it always does, and Janice started to get comfortable with her new family. She started becoming really close to her new siblings and her new parents. However, she was not comfortable enough to call them mama and papa or mom and dad yet. But all in all, she was starting to adapt and to adjust to her new life. Now, as I've mentioned, these three siblings, they were getting really close and they even started creating TikToks together. And they really looked like they were having a lot of fun. It seemed like they were the perfect family. Everything seemed really great for the family until it wasn't. Now, on December 10th, just before 3 p.m., Mr. Maguad received a frantic phone call from a friend telling him to hurry home because there had been an intruder and his house had been ransacked. In a panic, Mr. Maguad went home and at around 3:15 p.m., he found his house in complete disarray. And there, he discovered the lifeless bodies of his children. 18-year-old Grwm was found stabbed and beaten to death and was laying in a pool of her own blood, while just a few feet away, her little brother, 16-year-old Chrisville Lewis, was also found tied and gagged. He was also severely beaten and stabbed multiple times. What a terrible sight to witness. Now, adopted daughter Janice was also present at the scene of the crime, and she witnessed this whole ordeal. But miraculously, she was able to avoid the attackers. So, how she did that was she hid in one of the rooms, and in an attempt to ask for help, she posted on social media. In her post, she says, "Guys, tabangi ko ninyo please, gisulod mi sa balay, tabang di pa ko gusto mamatay, na ako sa kwarto karon gatago, please tabang." Which directly translates to, "Guys, please help me, there are intruders in the house, I don't want to die yet, I'm in the room hiding, please help." Now, I understand the logic behind her posting on social media rather than calling for help, because it is possible that she posted this during the attack and she didn't want to draw attention to herself. Like, she did not want the attackers to hear her and murder her as well. But I just find it really weird, because I'll put her post here. Again, I'll flash it here. And I just find it really weird that amidst everything that was going on, she found time to, I guess, make her post appear more cutesy. Like, she added a bunch of emojis, and she also added multiple unnecessary letters, like in the word tabang, which means help. She used multiple A's and multiple E's in please. I don't know, I just find that really strange. And honestly, a little eerie. So anyway, back to the story. So a few moments after this post, she posted once again simply saying, "Tabangi ko." Again with the multiple O's. If you're not Bisaya, "Tabangi ko" means help me. I guess it's normal, especially for someone younger, to type this way. But honestly, who has the time to add emojis and unnecessary elements to your post when you're in the middle of an emergency like this one? Seems a little sketchy to me. Anyway, since Janice is the only witness and the lone survivor in this brutal attack, naturally her statement or her testimony is vital for the police investigation. So, teka lang. I cannot talk while I'm doing my under eye. Hold on. Okay. Alright. So, as I was saying, Janice's testimony is vital for the police investigation. And because of this, and because she's a minor, she was taken under care of a local social welfare group here in the Philippines. According to Janice, 3 masked men entered the house. Now, take note that these were not ski masks. They're just regular face masks like the one we're using right now during the pandemic. Hopefully, everyone is using a mask. Anyway, so she saw half of their faces. However, According to Janice, she did not recognize any of these three masked men, and she was not familiar with any of them. Now, although the house did look like it was ransacked, nothing seemed to have gone missing. All of the family's belongings were accounted for, except for the cell phones of Crisvel Lewis and Crizel Gwyn. So the two siblings, yung cell phones nila, their cell phones were nowhere to be found. Now, I don't know about where you're from, but here in the Philippines, there are snatchers everywhere. And I can assure you that no one is going to ransack an entire house and murder people inside it only to steal two cell phones and actually will leave behind other items of more value. But here's where the robbery angle really started to not make sense. In the crime scene, all of the weapons used were left behind. And the weapons used were as follows: Crisvel's own baseball bat, Mr. Maguad's hammer, and a knife that belonged in the family kitchen. So some of which still had bloody fingerprints all over them. And upon further research of the area, authorities also found a blood-stained shirt that was most likely worn by the attacker. And according to Mr. Maguad, the bat and the hammer were well-hidden objects in the house. And the only people who knew where to find these objects are the people living inside the house, so the family members. So, as this case became more popular and as it went viral, it gained more attention from the public, of course. So, the people of the internet, they started to suspect something else. Something more sinister than what we all initially thought. So, the people who religiously followed this case from the very beginning, they started to find Janice, the adopted daughter, more and more suspicious as more information came out. According to Mr. Maguad himself, during the day of the attack, on the day that he found his children brutally murdered in their own home, he called out for Janice, worried that she also faced the same fate as her adoptive siblings. Now, Janice, she came out with her hair still dripping wet from the shower. She said that she was taking a bath when Mr. Maguad came home. Tea. Hot tea. So let me get this straight, before I continue with my eyeliner. Let me get this straight. You witnessed your siblings getting murdered and brutally attacked. You posted about it on Facebook, trying to ask for help, saying that you're scared and you're in hiding. But once the intruders left, you decided to take a shower instead of going outside and frantically calling for help. Seems kinda sus, if you ask me. So another weird thing is that, as I've mentioned earlier, Janice, she was comfortable with her new family. They were getting close. However, she wasn't comfortable enough yet to call Mr. and Mrs. Maguad mom and dad, or mama and papa. Now, here's the thing. Right after the incident happened, on that very day, Janice, for the first time ever, she started referring to Mr. and Mrs. Maguad as mama and papa. And they found that super weird as well. I mean, it was Mrs. Maguad who said that. They did find it very strange. And of course, because of these weird circumstances, from eyewitness and lone survivor, she suddenly becomes a person of interest. And that is big, especially in cases like this. that's due to the weird circumstances and her very odd behavior. So, shockingly, after just 6 days of investigation, Janice confesses to the killings. She admitted that she did indeed kill her 2 adoptive siblings. Murder charges were then filed against Janice and an accomplice. Not sure if she had 2 accomplices or just one, because there are a lot of mixed information out there. But from what we know, her accomplice is also a minor, so he is also now under the custody of the local social welfare group. And at first, there were rumors that this accomplice is a male accomplice and it was apparently Janice's boyfriend. Now, I'm not sure if she's dating this guy. However, according to Mrs. Maguad herself, this accomplice is a sacristan. So yes, this boy, he serves in church. I don't have a lot of information, but yeah, so that's what we know so far about the accomplice. He is a sacristan and he might be Janice's boyfriend. And remember that I told you about the weapons still having bloody fingerprints on them? It did match Janice's fingerprints. Another side note on Janice. So once this news made headlines, of course, a lot more netizens did some digging on Janice because, as I've mentioned, they found her very suspicious. And turns out, she's been missing for 8 years. Hold on. This is a lip plumper, by the way. So remember, I mentioned that allegedly, she's already an orphan and she no longer has parents. Now, she has parents. Through social media posts, people discovered that she's been missing since 2013. And according to a post created on September 22nd of the same year, a netizen named Mamay Abalde claimed to have seen a child aboard a ship alone, and that child's name is Janice. So it's unclear if she was abandoned on purpose or if she just got lost, but she does indeed have parents. Anyway, so back to the story. So as I've mentioned, Janice has been missing since 2013. So during the time of the case, it has been 8 years. And according to Mrs. Maguad, Janice has been in and out of the local social welfare group for the past 8 years. So she has been receiving psychosocial interventions and she was being taken care of them before they took her in. Tas ngayon, she's back in that local social welfare group because she is a murder suspect. There has been no trial yet. I'm not sure if they do things like that here in the Philippines, if there's a possibility that she will be tried as an adult or if she's going to be tried as a juvenile since she is 17 years old and her accomplice is also a minor. Due to Janice's confession, this case is now considered closed. However, it did re-spark a controversy that originally surfaced in 2019. And that is the controversy and the debate whether the age of criminal responsibility here in the Philippines should be lowered or not. And on the center of this debate, if you guys don't remember, if you've never heard about it, on the center of this debate, we had 2 strong contenders, actress Miss Ann Curtis Smith and the presidential daughter, Inday Sara Duterte. Now, their posts were very long, but technically, Miss Ann Curtis, she was against this idea because she is a UNICEF representative for children, I think, something like that. While Mayor Sara Duterte, she was for it. She supports lowering the age of criminal responsibility, basically. Now, the reason why this issue resurfaced, I guess, is Mr. and Mrs. Maguad actually spoke about this, and I'm just going to flash their post here. But basically, they are saying that Miss Ann Curtis is not living in a realistic world because she sees children, all children, she sees them as, innocent, cute. I've watched so many true crime cases involving minors, and in my opinion, if you're a murderer, you are a murderer. Your age does not change anything. It does not change the fact that you killed someone. Maybe in other cases, we could consider the fact that these offenders are children, but in a case as brutal, as sinister, and as evil as this one, Janice, she might have been 17, she might have been a minor, but she definitely does not have the mind and the essence of a child. I guess at the end of the day, we all have different experiences in life. We all grew up in a different area, in a different way. Therefore, we also have different opinions regarding certain issues similar to this one. Anyway, back to the story. So yes, Janice did confess. So, you might be wondering what pushed her to do such heinous crime. Jealousy and anger. That's what she said, and allegedly there was a lawyer present when she said this. She admitted to being jealous and angry, specifically at Crizel. She's angry at Crizel, the girl who convinced her parents to let her stay with them and take her in and adopt her. That doesn't make sense. I mean, in her mind, she wanted to, I guess, replace Crizel. And if you think about it, right after Crizel and Crisville died, she started calling Mr. and Mrs. Maguad Mama and Papa. So that was her plan all along. She wanted to replace Crizel and Crisville. So, why would you be angry and jealous of the girl who convinced her parents to take you in? And the boy, Crisville, why would you be angry at him? Why would you murder someone who gave up his own room just so you could be more comfortable at his own house? It's really crazy what jealousy can do, what jealousy and envy and anger could do to a person. And it's very, very sad. These children, they did not deserve what happened to them. They did not deserve to die. They did not deserve to get hurt, especially by someone who they welcomed into their own home and treated as a sibling. So, I guess this is where I'll end today's video. My heart goes out to Mr. and Mrs. Maguad as well as all of Crisville and Crizel's loved ones. I hope they find justice and I hope that they find peace in their hearts. And my condolences to the family. Obviously, these kids, they did not deserve what happened to them. It's a very, very sad story. Again, all of my sources, if you want to read these articles, I'm going to have them linked in the description box below, as well as all of the products that I used. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Friday for a makeup review and on Tuesday for another True Crime Tuesday video. If you have any requests about what cases you want to hear about, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, please stay vigilant. Let's all be careful and be careful who you trust. And especially be careful who you let into your home. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all on my next video.